They said it was impossible. A Japanese sedan beating Ferrari, matching Porsche, humiliating Lamborghini, all for $70,000 when the competition asked $300,000. But on December 6, 2007, Nissan walked into the Tokyo Motor Show and broke every rule the supercar world thought was sacred. This is the story of how a car that looked like your uncle's daily driver became the thing Ferrari owners feared in their mirrors, the R35 GTR, Godzilla. And before that, the R32 that went 29-0 in Japanese touring car racing, 29 wins, 29 starts, undefeated for 4 straight years. This is not about pretty sheet metal or leather interiors. This is about engineers who refuse to lose. You're standing in Yokohama, 1989. Nissan just brought back a badge that had been dead for 16 years. The GTR, the 8th generation Skyline chassis coded R32. Under the hood sits an engine that will rewrite motorsport. The RB26 DET, 2.6 liters, twin turbos, officially 276 horsepower. Japan had a gentleman's agreement. No production car over 276 horses. Prevent a horsepower war. Keep the roads safe. Every manufacturer signed. Every manufacturer lied. Dyno the R32. Real number? 313 horsepower at 6,800 RPM. 37 horses more than Nissan admitted. Torque? 300 pound-feet instead of the claimed 260. The agreement was theater. The performance was real. But power means nothing without grip. Naganori Ito knew this. Chief engineer. His mission was simple. Dominate Group A touring car racing. He looked at the Porsche 959. At the time, the fastest production car on Earth. Nissan bought one, tore it apart, studied every system, then built something different, a Tessa ETS, Advanced Total Traction. Engineering system for all-terrain with electronic torque split. Say it fast. It is a computer-controlled all-wheel drive system using hydraulic clutches. The car runs rear-wheel drive until the rear tires break traction. Then a microprocessor reads throttle position, lateral g-force, wheel speed. Splits torque up to 50-50 front and rear. Milliseconds, not seconds. The system reacts faster than any human. Porsche had all-wheel drive. Nissan made it think. Add super high-cas. High-capacity actively controlled steering. Rear-wheel steering. At low speeds, the rear wheels turn opposite the fronts. Tighter turning radius. At high speeds, they turn with the fronts. Stability. Better lane changes. The rear wheels move up to 1 degree. Sounds small. Changes everything. Group A rules in 1990. Production-based. Minimum 5,000 units built. 11-inch wide tires permitted in the 4.5 liter class. Nissan could have gone smaller displacement, 2.4 liters, 10-inch tires, but the all-wheel drive system added 100 kilograms. The car would be too heavy for its class, so Nissan went bigger. RB26, taller class, wider rubber, smarter math. March 1990, first race. All Japan Touring Car Championship. The R32 GTR debuts, wins. Round 2, wins. Round 3, wins. 29 rounds across 4 seasons from 1990 through 1993. 29 victories. No defeats, not one. Masahiro Hasemi, Kazuyoshi Hoshino, Masahiko Kageyama, championship-winning drivers. Hoshino in the blue Calsonic GTR caught air over curbs. Fans went insane. The car generated 542 horsepower in race trim. Twin turbos screaming, all 4 wheels clawing pavement. The Sierra Cosworth RS 500, dead. The BMW E30 M3 Evolution, dead. The R32 killed Group A racing. Too dominant, too advanced. Regulations changed just to stop it. Australia, 1990, the R32 lands. Jim Richards behind the wheel. Australian Touring Car Championship. Year 1 wins the title. 1991, Richards again. Then Mark Scaife in 1992, 3 straight championships. But the big one was Bathurst. Mount Panorama, 1,000 kilometers. October 1991, Richards and Scaife driving. They win. October 1992. Rain, chaos, cars sliding into walls. The leading Nissan spins, hits a barrier. Red flag. Race stopped. Officials check times. Nissan so far ahead when the flag dropped that they still win. Beer cans fly from the grandstands. Boos thunder. Local fans wanted Ford or Holden. Richards stands on the podium, grabs the microphone, looks at the crowd, calls them a pack of arseholes. The nickname sticks. Wheels Magazine, July 1989. They call it Godzilla, monster from Japan. The name spreads worldwide. If you value documented motorsport history like this, subscribe. It is the best way to support our work. Also, comment from which city you are hearing this from. This script is researched and factual, using sources from Nissan's official Heritage Collection archive published through 2024. Haggerty Media's feature from April 2023 analyzing Group A dominance through race records and FIA documentation, and the book Nissan Skyline GTR Supercars by Brian Long, published by Veloci in 2015, with chassis-by-chassis production data, cross-referenced with JTCC race results archived at motorsport stats sites. Now back to the information. Spa, 24 hours, 1991, Belgium. 3 R32 GTRs entered, Group N class. They finished first, second, third. Clean sweep. Then one Group A spec car takes overall victory, beats Porsches, beats everything. The Nürburgring Nordschleife, 20.8 kilometers, 173 corners. Hiroyoshi Kato, Nissan test driver, August 1989, laps the R32 in 8 minutes, 22.38 seconds. The Porsche 944 held the record at 8:45. Nissan just deleted 23 seconds, average speed 92 miles per hour. That time stood unbeaten in class for years. Nissan built 43,934 R32 GTRs total from 1989 to 1994. Standard models, V-Spec Victory Specification editions from February 1993, N1 race cars, 560 Nismo versions for Group A homologation. The V-Spec used retuned Atesa, lighter hood, 17-inch BBS wheels, Brembo brakes. The N1 deleted air conditioning, sound system rear wiper, ABS. Weight savings, reinforced brake master cylinder, all painted crystal white. Total N1 production, 245 units, 118 base, 64 V-Spec, N1, 63 V-Spec 2 N1. Fast forward, year 2000. Nissan is struggling, sales down, reputation fading. Carlos Ghosn becomes CEO. He has a vision, bring back the GTR, make it global, make it a halo car, revive the brand through performance. He tasks Kazutoshi Mizuno, the godfather of GTR. Mizuno started at Nissan in 1972. By his own admission, he was lazy, slept during work, did not work late. He designed Formula Junior cars as a student. At Nissan, he only did parts design. Management noticed, sent him to a dealership, sell cars, learn customers. There, he met handicapped people. They told him a car is not just metal. It is life. It is freedom. It is human. His mind changed. He realized the customer matters more than the engineer's ego. 1987. Mizuno joins Nissan's racing division, Group C endurance racing, Le Mans. He learns carbon fiber, ceramic brakes, high downforce aerodynamics. By 2000, he leads the team developing the 350Z, the Infiniti FX. Then Ghosn taps him for the big one. April 2003, Tokyo Motor Show. Ghosn confirms the GTR returns, fall 2007. Production model. Mizuno initially refuses. Ghosn wants the car on the FM platform. Infiniti G35 architecture. Mizuno says no, cannot make a world-class car on that platform. He builds a prototype anyway. Advanced FM calls it premium midship, PM platform. Ghosn sees it, grants full authority. Mizuno becomes chief engineer. Development runs 7 years, 2000 to 2007. Concepts shown in 2001 and 2005. Testing at Nürburgring, spring and fall, 1 month each. Twice the stress of normal tracks. Blind corners at high speed. Heat management, G-forces, endurance. Mizuno tests everything. Can the car hold a conversation at 300 kilometers per hour on the Autobahn? Can it survive a flat tire at that speed and reach a repair shop? Will VDC activate correctly above 250 kilometers per hour? These questions matter. Ferrari does not ask them. Porsche does not ask them. Mizuno does. The engine, VR38 DETT, 3.8 liters, twin turbos, V6. Why not the inline RB26 packaging? The V6 sits lower, better center of gravity, better weight distribution. Each engine hand-built by a Takumi master craftsman, like Mercedes AMG at Affalterbach. The builder signs a plaque, quality control, precision. Officially 480 horsepower at 6,400 RPM. Real output, 507 on the dyno according to Car and Driver's June 2008 test. Another gentleman's agreement lie, 6-speed dual-clutch transmission. World first for a production car. Rear-mounted. Independent transaxle, all-wheel drive, a Tessa ETS Pro, evolved from R32, faster, smarter, more torque to the front when needed. Launch control, press a button, hold brake and throttle. Release brake, the car measures wheel slip, engine RPM, suspension load. Adjust torque split in real time, 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds according to Nissan's early tests. Same as the Ferrari Enzo. The Enzo cost $321,956. The GTR asked $69,850, October 2007. Tokyo Motor Show. Nissan unveils the production R35 GTR. Live broadcast shows a Nürburgring lap, 7 minutes 38.54 seconds, partially wet track. Nissan claims fastest production car lap. Beats the Porsche 911 Turbo at 740. The internet explodes. Porsche owners furious. Nissan lying, they say. Not a real production car. Tires too sticky. Track conditions cherry-picked. Time of day matters. Driver too skilled. The excuses pile high. April 2008. Nissan returns. Dry track. 7 minutes. 29.03 seconds. Best motoring observes. Verified. Porsche goes silent. Then gets a 911 GT 2 RS and starts using factory race drivers themselves. The lap time war begins. Years of back and forth. Nissan hits 726.70 on April 23, 2009, 14 seconds faster than the target. Then Porsche takes it back. Then Mercedes. Then Porsche again. The R35 forced the entire industry to chase times. December 6, 2007, Japan launch. 3,000 pre-orders before the car even goes on sale. Gosen himself buys the first production unit. Target sales, 200 per month. Maintain exclusivity. Deliveries start July 7th, 2008 in North America, March 2009 in Europe. The delay? Nissan had to build GTR performance centers, special training for technicians. The car was too advanced for regular dealerships. First reviews hit car and driver. May 2008, 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. That matches the 611 horsepower Ferrari 599 GTB Fiorano, which cost $280,295. Quarter mile in 11.5 seconds at 121 miles per hour, faster than the BMW M6 and Mercedes SLR. Skid pad, 1.00 G, braking from 60, 102 feet. Only the Porsche GT2 and Corvette ZR1 stop shorter. Fuel economy, 16 city, 21 highway. ULEV 2 emissions. No Ferrari did that. Motor Trend names it 2009 Car of the Year. Their reasoning. A base GTR costs $77,840. Porsche 911 Carrera, $76,460. Jaguar XK, $77,975. Corvette ZIT06, $73,255. None match the GTR's performance. To get equivalent speed, you need the supercars. Average price of those, $236,000. Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, GT2. The GTR delivers comparable performance for 1/3 the cost. Value defined. Edmunds writes it delivers true supercar performance in a user-friendly package for less coin than a base Porsche 911. Further, it can get you to 60 miles per hour faster than any Ferrari or Lamborghini currently in production. Top Gear magazine calls it the greatest performance bargain of this or any other century. One of the most incredible cars of any kind ever built. For the price of a BMW M3, you have a four-wheel drive, super high-tech, all-weather, 195 mile per hour supercar with tremendous ability on all roads and an almost impossibly cool image. And a boot. Journalists struggle to understand it. Car and Driver compares it to Spanish conquistadors arriving in the New World. Indigenous people on the shore could not see the enormous wooden ships on the horizon. The ships were not part of their reality. Visual neurons could not process them. Days passed before the vessels registered. The GTR is like that. Journalists drive it. Performance breaks Newton's laws. 3,900 pounds should not move this fast. Should not corner this hard. Should not stop this quick. Ferrari performance for $70,000. Can this be real? Streets everywhere. Gearheads chase the GTR with camera phones. They know exactly what they are looking at. Video game kids who drove Skylines and Gran Turismo. Now the car exists in atoms, not electrons. They treat it like Britney Spears. No privacy. Constant attention. The car deserves it, but the backlash comes. Critics attack the weight. 3,908 pounds. Too heavy. Should be lighter, Mizuno responds. Thinking that my car is too heavy is a mistake. All journalists say heavy, heavy, heavy. It should be lighter, lighter, lighter. I say journalists need to develop a more professional level of thinking. More study, more thought. The GTR needs to be this weight. A car with less weight does not handle. Lighter weight can be dangerous, and it will not be drivable by all customers. You have a responsibility for the customer. I have a big responsibility for the customer. He doubles down. Oversteer is foolish. Only foolish people develop that. Actual grip car, only a clever engineer can develop. A car that makes the maximum tire grip, it is not dangerous. Tire grip is better than maximum engine torque. All customers can enjoy this supercar drive. All customers can easily enjoy 500 horsepower and accelerate to 62 miles per hour in 3 seconds. Anyone, anywhere, anytime can enjoy this. Other cars, only a special development engineer can enjoy them, his philosophy. The GTR is not for racers. It is for customers, regular people, doctors, lawyers, middle-aged men who want to feel fast without dying. The weight stabilizes responses, dampens twitchiness. The average guy can drive it hard, feel like Sebastian Vettel. Exit a corner, feel invincible. That is the point. A lighter car would be faster on paper, but scarier in reality. Fewer people could drive it well. Mizuno refuses that compromise. The R35's development philosophy. Takumi spirit. Japanese craftsmanship. German cars are high quality and high price. American cars are cheaper and not as good. Italian cars are eccentric but unreliable. Nationality is bigger than the cars. So the GTR is Takumi. Skill and artisanship. Japanese spirit. This is what Mizuno believes. Updates come yearly. Mizuno said from day one the GTR would grow up every year. In his head, he already has ideas for 2013, 2014, 2015 models, 2010 model year. Power jumps to 485 horsepower at 6,400 RPM. No torque increase, claimed. Launch control reprogrammed. Less stress on transaxle. Better acceleration. Suspension retuned. Standard airbags added. Then the facelift, 2011 model year. Engine remapped. Valve timing changed. Larger inlets, modified exhaust, rated power now 530 horsepower at 6,400 RPM. Torque, 448 pound-feet from 3,200 to 6,000 RPM. 2017 model year, biggest update in 10 years. Redesigned fascias, front and rear. Better cooling. Reshaped C-pillars, less turbulence. Strengthened hood, less deformation at high speed. Turbo boost increased. Power output, 562 horsepower at 6,800 RPM. Torque, 467 pound-feet at 3,300 to 5,300 RPM. Redline raised from 7,000 to 7,100 RPM. Transmission remapped, smoother shifts, quieter, titanium exhaust, weight reduction, chassis torsional rigidity up 5%, acoustic windscreen, sound deadening, Bose noise cancellation. The car matures, track record stack. The R35 beats the Ferrari 458 Italia in multiple tests. Faster 0 to 60, quicker quarter mile, better lap times. The 458 cost over $230,000. The GTR less than $100,000 for most of its life. Tuners go insane. The VR38 responds to modifications like no other engine. Stock internals handle 600 horsepower easily. Upgraded turbos, fuel system, ECU, 1,000 horsepower, 1,500, 2,000. Some tuned GTRs make absurd power. HKS, Greddy, AMS performance. They turn the car into a missile. 2016. Nissan wants to showcase the R35's enduring speed. They take a Greddy-tuned GTR to UAE, 1,380 horsepower, airstrip. They attempt the world's fastest drift. Previous record 135 miles per hour. Stood for 3 years. Nissan deletes that, 189.5 miles per hour, 30-degree drift angle. The record still stands. Porsche does not try to beat it. 80% of the R35 development team came from Isuzu's vehicle division, truck engineers, not passenger car specialists. Mizuno himself admits it. Coming from the truck division, not the passenger car division, we started as amateurs when it came to supercar development. Amateurs built a Ferrari killer. Let that sink in. Hand-built engines, independent rear transaxle, active suspension, launch control, dual-clutch gearbox. The R35 was years ahead, but critics complained about interior quality. Plastic dashboard, haphazard button layout, rectangles, circles, squares stacked like favelas. Function over art. Mizuno did not care. Gauges show lateral g-force, front to rear torque split, tire temperature, oil pressure, 11 driver selectable screens, most inane to watch while driving, suicidal even. But they are there. Data for the obsessed, racing success, FIA GT 1 World Championship wins, Super GT titles, GT 3 championships worldwide, GT World Challenge. The R35 dominates where it is allowed, but the production run nears its end. Nissan's financial struggles deepen, merger talks with Honda collapse. January 2025, Nissan announces the R35 ends production. 18 years, 2007 to 2025, the longest-running GTR generation. Final edition, T-Spec Takumi, 600 horsepower, Nismo version. All the engineering distilled, then it stops. Rumors swirl about the R36, electric, hybrid, solid-state batteries. The Hyperforce concept from October 2023 shows the direction. Angular, aggressive, Transformer aesthetic. Target output 1,341 horsepower, but Nissan's finances are dire. The R36 may never happen, or it might arrive small volume Japan only in 2028. Nobody knows. What we know is this. The R32 went 29-0, killed Group A racing through dominance. The R35 matched Ferraris for $70,000. forced Porsche to use factory race drivers at Nürburgring, changed what a supercar could cost, what it could do. 80% of buyers in the United States never tracked their GTRs. They bought the capability, the bragging rights, the knowledge that for the price of a loaded pickup truck, they owned something that could humiliate cars costing 5 times more. Critics said it was too heavy, too complex, too expensive for a Nissan. Colin Chapman would have machine gunned it for not adding lightness, but those critics missed the point. The GTR was not built for them. It was built for the customer who wanted Ferrari speed without Ferrari maintenance costs, Porsche performance without Porsche snobbery, a car you could daily drive, take to the track on Saturday, drive home in comfort, park it, come back Monday. It starts. Mizuno's retirement hit at 60, Nissan regulations, but his legacy sits in driveways worldwide. Over 50,000 R35s built, price is now rising. Early 2009 models that sold for 70,000, now worth double, maybe more. Clean examples, garage queens. The market realizes what it had, a moment when engineering trumped marketing, when a team of truck engineers built something the supercar world could not ignore, the final piece. Tokyo Auto Salon 2025. Nissan displays the R32 EV conversion, one-off project, passion build. Ryozo Hiraku leads it, longtime EV engineer, former R32 owner himself. He asks, in 2055, will owners still find gasoline for this incredible machine? Will they still enjoy driving it? He uses electrical and digital technology to replicate the R32 GTR's appeal. Future generations can experience it. 2 160 kilowatt electric motors, 340 newton meters torque each. 62 kilowatt hour battery from the Leaf Nismo RC02. Rear seat deleted. Battery goes there. Weight up 370 kilograms. Output and torque tuned to match the original R32's torque to weight ratio. Not to exceed, to honor. Cabin speaker pipes and RB26 DET engine note. Paddle shifters. Shift shock programmed in. Simulate clutch engagement. Larger R35 GTR brakes. 18-inch wheels. Custom Recaro seats. Digital screens mimic original gauges. Keep the profile. Update the tech. Hiroyoshi Kato, test it. He fine-tuned the original R32 GTR in 1989. Now he evaluates the electric version, gives feedback. The circle closes. But the real story is not in the EV conversion, it is in the dirt. 1993, last round of the All Japan Touring Car Championship. 94,500 fans packed the stands. 16 R32 GTRs on the grid, all fighting each other. Sierra Cosworth's gone. BMW M3's irrelevant. Group A dies because one car became the entire series. The GTR was too good. Regulations killed it to save competition. Bathurst, October 1992. The R32's last win there. Dick Johnson in a Ford. Australian hero. He is set to win after the Nissan crashes. But officials check the times. Red flag. Nissan so far ahead that even crashed, they take victory. Fans riot. Richards grabs the microphone. Calls them arseholes. That moment. Pure defiance, pure GTR. Mount Panorama Circuit. 1,620 meters elevation change. 73 corners. Conrad Straight, where cars hit 290 kilometers per hour. Skyline. The R32 dominated there twice. In 2024, Nissan found something. Soil cores near the old pit area, heat signatures, tire rubber embedded deep, chemical analysis. Matches Bridgestone Potenza R71s. The exact tires the R32 ran. 225 50R16, less than 9 inches of tread. Same width Honda put on 2010 Accord sedans. But the GTR used all 4 wheels. A Tessa split torque, made narrow rubber wide in effect. The R35's final production number, 50,341 units built. Global sales, United States, Europe, Japan, Middle East, Australia, everywhere. No more hiding behind gray market imports. No more Japan-only exclusivity. Gosen's vision realized the GTR went worldwide, changed perceptions. Nissan was not just economy cars and pickup trucks. Nissan could build something special. That something is ending. But the legend will not, because buried in Nissan's Zama warehouse outside Yokohama, in climate-controlled storage, sits chassis number 00001, the first production R35 GTR. Carlos Gosen's car, untouched, original tires, 12 miles on the odometer. Gosen drove it from the factory to the storage facility. December 6th, 2007. Parked it, locked it, left it. Nissan preserves it. Heritage Collection, next to it. Chassis B NR, 3200560. The last R32 Nismo built, 1990. Gunmetal Gray, Group A homologation special. Engine number 497, hand-stamped. RB26 and 1 specification. Balanced crankshaft, upgraded pistons. Race camshafts, ceramic turbochargers. This car never raced. Nissan kept it. Proof of what they built, what they achieved. The engineers who built these cars, many retired, some passed away. Naganori Ito, dead. Never saw the R35's global success. Kazutoshi Mizuno, retired at 60 as regulations required. Watching from the sidelines, seeing his baby evolve without him, wondering if the R36 will carry his philosophy. Anyone, anywhere, anytime. That philosophy changed the supercar world forever. Before the GTR, supercars were exotic, unreliable, expensive to maintain, hard to drive, impractical. After the GTR, the rules shifted. Porsche made the 911 more daily drivable. Ferrari added dual-clutch transmissions. Lamborghini improved quality control. McLaren focused on usability. The GTR proved you could have both. Scalpel precision, daily comfort. The industry followed. The final Nürburgring time matters. 2013 model year. 7 minutes, 18.6 seconds, adjusted for traffic. Physical time, 7:19.1. Toshio Suzuki driving, former Formula One pilot. Nissan development driver. Stock Dunlop SP Sport. Max GT 600 DSST CTT run flats. Factory standard, no slicks, no cheating. The 911 GT2 RS ran 718 at the time, but on cut slicks, near race tires. Nissan stayed production spec, proved the point. The customer gets this performance, not some one-off ringer. Mizuno insisted on that. No special cars, no cheating. Every GTR delivered could achieve these times. With a skilled driver, proper conditions, but achievable. That was the promise. Porsche may have gone faster eventually. Mercedes-AMG 1 erased everyone with a 635.18 in 2022. But those cars cost millions. Limited production. The GTR asked 100,000. Mass-produced. 12,000 units per year at peak. Available worldwide. The Takumi craftsmen who built the VR38 engines. 4 per day, each builder. Hand select bearings, measure tolerances, balance components, torque bolts to precise specifications, sign the plaque, the engine goes in the car, dyno tested, power verified, delivered. That level of care at scale, no other manufacturer did it. Mercedes-AMG does it, but charges 3 times the price. Nissan did it for less. Production stopped at Tochigi plant in December 2024. Final T-Spec units rolled off. Workers took photos, cried. 43 years of Skyline GTR heritage ending, if you count from the C110 in 1973 to the R35's finale. The bloodline traced back further. Prince Skyline in 1957, Nissan merger in 1966, Skyline GT badge born 1969. 56 years of performance, now paused, maybe forever. The warehouse holds the evidence. Nürburgring test logs, handwritten, Mizuno's notes, suspension settings, tire pressures, lap times, corner speeds, brake points, telemetry data, thousands of hours, saved, archived. Future engineers can study them, learn, understand how Mizuno's team achieved what they did. One document stands out, April 23, 2009, 726.70. Video footage, onboard camera, Suzuki's hands, steering inputs, throttle position, brake pressure, gear selection, the entire lap, preserved, uploaded, public, Nissan hiding nothing. This is what we did. This is how we did it. Beat it if you can. Porsche did. Eventually. But they brought factory race cars disguised as road cars. GT2 RS with Manthey racing modifications. Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 R tires. Barely legal. 638.835 in June 2021. Faster. Sure, but apples and oranges. Stock GTR versus modified Porsche. Mizuno would have smiled. Told Porsche they needed to try harder. The legacy is not in lap times. It is in disruption. Nissan proved you do not need a mid-engine layout, do not need a V12, do not need a 7-figure price tag. You need engineering, discipline, testing, refinement. The PM platform, nothing exotic, shared with the Infiniti G37. But Mizuno tuned it, strengthened it. Carbon fiber roof, aluminum hood and fenders, weight distribution 45 front, 55 rear. Not perfect 50-50, but functional. Optimized for a Tesla's torque split. The engine placement, front mid, behind the front axle, not over it. Lowers polar moment of inertia, helps rotation. The transaxle rear mounted, weight distribution, better traction. The driveshaft spins at engine speed, dual mass flywheel at the back. Reduces driveline shunt, smoother shifts. These details matter. Mizuno obsessed over them. He adjusted suspension geometry for right-hand drive models. The driver's weight on the right side affected dynamics, so he used harder spring rates on the left front, different ride height, asymmetric setup, insanity, genius, both. October 1991, Spa 24 hours. The R32 takes overall victory, not just class, overall. Beats 911 GT3s, beats everything. Pole position, fastest lap, dominant. Europe notices. The Japanese invasion is real. January 2025. Tokyo Auto Salon. Nissan shows the R32 EV. Media coverage explodes. Some praise it, some hate it. Purists scream sacrilege. Electric GTR is not a GTR, but Hiraku's vision is clear. Preservation through adaptation. The RB26 will not last forever. Gasoline will not be available forever. If the GTR is to survive, it must evolve. The EV conversion is not about performance. It is about continuity, future generations. Understanding what made the R32 special, even if the engine note is synthetic, the feel artificial, the spirit remains. That spirit defined Nissan for 2 decades. R32, R33, R34. Each generation refined the formula. Then the gap. 16 years. Nothing. Then the R35. Global, dominant, enduring, now ending. The R36. Unknown. Maybe electric, maybe hybrid, maybe cancelled. Nissan's financial crisis deepens. Production cuts, plant closures, management turmoil. The GTR might die with the R35. But the story will not, because the GTR changed what people believe is possible. A sedan-based sports car, not a purpose-built supercar. A twin-turbo V6, not a V12. All-wheel drive, not rear-wheel only. Computers controlling everything, not analog purity. The GTR rejected tradition, built its own path. Won. The final reveal. Mount Panorama Circuit, Bathurst, 2024. Archaeologists excavating old pit lane. They find a mass grave, not human. Mechanical, buried parts, engine blocks, crankshafts, connecting rods, bent, broken, shattered. Chemical analysis. Metallurgy study. They belong to Ford Sierra RS 500 Cosworths, BMW E30M3 Evolutions. The competitors. The GTR broke them. Literally. Teams could not keep up. Engines blew, trying to match the Nissan's pace. They buried the evidence, covered it with dirt, forgot it. Until now. The bones tell the story. The GTR was not just fast, it was devastating. It forced rivals to push beyond their limits. And when they did, they failed. The Nissan kept running, kept winning. Undefeated, 29-0. The record stands and will always stand. Group A is dead. The format will never return. The R32's dominance can never be repeated because the regulations that allowed it, gone. The era that produced it, finished. The engineers who built it, retired or dead. The car itself, a legend, frozen in time. 1989 to 1994. Peak Group A, peak GTR, peak Godzilla. If you value documented automotive engineering history like this, subscribe. This is the best way to keep these stories alive. Comment which city you are watching from. We want to know where Godzilla's legacy reaches. The technical specifications tell part of the story, but numbers alone do not explain the shock. December 2007. Launch event. Automotive journalists from 60 countries. Tokyo International Forum. Lights dim. Video screen shows Nürburgring. Toshio Suzuki behind the wheel. Rain on windscreen. Wipers going. 7:30, 8.54. The room goes silent. Someone from Autocar whispers, "That is faster than the 911 Turbo in the wet." Nissan PR confirms. Stock tires. Stock car. Production specification. The journalists scramble for laptops. File stories immediately. This changes everything. Porsche's response came swift, not publicly, but internally. Engineers at Weissach pulled the 911 Turbo back to Nürburgring within weeks. Tested, verified their time. 7:40. Still slower. They went back to the drawing board. Development accelerated on the 997.2 generation. More power. Better aero. Stickier tires. The GT2 RS arrived. 732 on their first attempt. Then 728. Then 718. Porsche would not let a Nissan embarrass them. The rivalry pushed both companies forward. But the real battle happened in showrooms. United States, July 2008. First GTRs arrive. Dealers immediately add markups. 10,000 over sticker, 20,000, 30,000. Some tried 50. Nissan threatened to cut allocations. Markups dropped. But demand stayed insane. First year allocation, 1,500 units. 60% sold before first delivery. Waiting lists stretched months. Some buyers waited a year. The anticipation built. When they finally got the keys, the car delivered every time. Customer reviews told the story Nissan marketing could not. Online forums exploded. GTR Life. Nissan GTR Forum. Nagtrock. Thousands of posts daily. Owners documented everything. 0 to 60 runs with GPS data, quarter-mile slips, dyno charts showing real horsepower, track day videos. The community became the car's best advertising. Word spread. The GTR was real, not automotive journalism hype, not manufacturer claims. Real performance, repeatable, reliable, available. Tuner shops saw opportunity. AMS performance in Chicago. They built the Alpha package, upgraded turbos, strengthened internals. ECU flash, Alpha 6, 600 horsepower. Alpha 9, 900. Alpha 12, 1200. Alpha 16, 1600 horsepower. On stock block in some cases. The VR38 could take punishment. Other tuners followed. Cobb Tuning, Greddy, HKS, Switzer Performance, each pushing limits, finding weaknesses, strengthening components. By 2010, 1,000 horsepower GTRs were common. By 2015, 2,000 horsepower builds existed. The aftermarket proved what Nissan engineers already knew. The foundation was bulletproof. Racing applications expanded. GT3 specification GTRs competed worldwide. Blancpain GT Series, Bathurst 12-hour, Nürburgring 24-hour, Dubai 24-hour. Wins accumulated. Not domination like the R32. Competition was closer. But the GTR held its own against McLaren 650S, Mercedes-AMG GT3, Porsche 911 GT3R. Professional teams chose it. Nissan supported them. Parts availability, technical support. The racing program validated the road car. Showed the performance was not just straight-line acceleration. The GTR could turn, could brake, could last 24 hours at racing speeds. Production evolved yearly. Power climbed from 480 horsepower in 2009 to 600 in the final Nismo. Transmission tuning, suspension refinement, brake improvements, interior updates. The car kept evolving, never static. Mizuno's philosophy lived on. His successors honored his vision. Keep polishing, keep improving, never settle. Pricing tracked upward but held value. 2009, 69,850. 2024, 122,000 base. Nismo, 175,500. Expensive. But Ferrari 812. Superfast asked 335,000. Lamborghini Aventador 500,000. McLaren 720 S 300,000. Porsche 911 Turbo S 210,000. The GTR remained the performance bargain for 18 years. The cultural impact extends beyond numbers. Video games. Gran Turismo series featured GTRs since the first game, 1997. Players learned to love skylines through pixels. When the R35 launched, those players were adults with money. They bought the cars they drove virtually. Forza Motorsport, Need for Speed, Assetto Corsa. Every major racing game featured GTRs. The brand recognition was massive. Nissan did not pay for it. The cars earned it. Movies played a role. Fast and Furious franchise. The R34 appeared in 2001. Paul Walker drove it. Became iconic. Nissan capitalized. Demand for skylines exploded. R32 prices jumped. R33 values rose. R34 became unobtainable. Then the R35 launched. Perfect timing. The movie audience became customers. Hollywood and Yokohama aligned. But the engineering remains the core story. Atessa ETS Pro. How it works. 3 sensors measure wheel speed. Accelerometer reads G-forces. Yaw sensor detects rotation. Computer analyzes data 50 times per second. Compares front and rear wheel speeds. Calculates slip. Adjusts hydraulic pressure on transfer case clutch pack. Varies torque split 0% front up to 50%. Response time 0.15 seconds. Faster than human reaction. Faster than tire slip becomes spin. The system thinks ahead. Predictive, not reactive. Combine that with vehicle dynamic control, VDC, electronic stability control. Reads same sensors. Applies individual wheel braking. If rear slides out, brake inside rear wheel, tightens line. If front pushes, brake inside front, rotates car, works with Atessa. Both systems talking, coordinating, keeping the car balanced. Pointed right, fast. Add the adjustable suspension, Bilstein Damptronic. Electronically controlled dampers, 3 modes, comfort, normal, R mode, comfort for daily driving, soft, compliant, absorbs bumps, normal for spirited street use, balanced, still livable, R mode for track, stiff, maximum control, minimum body roll. The driver chooses, the car adapts. 1 car, 3 personalities. Usability, the reason people daily drove GTRs. The attention to detail shows everywhere. The titanium exhaust introduced in 2017. Saves weight, 10 pounds, not much, but every bit counts. The carbon fiber roof panel on Nismo lowers center of gravity, improves polar moment. The carbon ceramic brakes, optional. 15.4-inch front rotors, 15.0-inch rear, 6-piston front calipers, 4-piston rear. Stops the car from 60 and 99 feet. Class leading. Essential when the car can hit 196 miles per hour. The seats, Recaro, heavily bolstered, hold you in place at 1.03 GI lateral acceleration. The steering wheel, leather-wrapped, 3-spoke, simple. Buttons for drive mode, launch control, all within reach. No reaching, no fumbling. The gauges, center-mounted tachometer, 8,000 RPM redline, digital speedo, configurable displays, data everywhere, but not overwhelming. Organized, functional. The heritage Nissan drew from, Prince Motor Company, merged with Nissan 1966. Prince developed the Skyline. Started 1957, compact luxury sedan, inline-4 engine. Competed with Toyota Crown. Prince wanted motorsport success. Hired Shinichiro Sakurai. Engineer, visionary. He stuffed a 2-liter inline-6 into the Skyline. Created the S54 series. Entered racing. Won. The GT badge appeared. Then GTR. Motorsports homologation special. 1969. Hakosuka. C110. Skyline GTR. 4-door. 2-door coupe. S20 inline-6. 160 horsepower. Twin carburetors. High revving. Successful racer. Won 50 races. Then oil crisis. Emissions regulations. GTR died. 1973. C110 stayed. GTR badge gone. 16 years passed. Nissan struggled. Merged with Prince but lost the performance focus. Skyline became generic, safe, boring. Then Group A racing started. Nissan wanted back. R31 GTSR arrived. 1987. RB20 inline-6. Turbocharged. Decent, not great. Then Naganori Ito got the call. Build something special. Bring back GTR. Do it right. He did. R32. August 1989. The legend reborn. That lineage mattered. When Gosen asked Mizuno to revive GTR again, Mizuno understood the weight, the expectation, the history. He could not fail, would not fail. 7 years development, every detail obsessed over. The PM platform. Specifically engineered, not adapted, purpose-built. The VR38 engine, hand-assembled, not mass-produced. The transaxle layout, world first for independent rear-mounted AWD. These choices were not random. They were calculated, researched, tested, proven. The testing protocol was brutal. Every pre-production car. Minimum 10,000 kilometers on Nürburgring and surroundings. Heat cycling, thermal stress, vibration, component wear, brake fade, tire degradation, suspension compliance, steering feel, everything measured, documented. If something failed, redesigned, retested, no shortcuts. Nissan spent estimated $500 million developing the R35. Nearly bankrupted their performance division. But Gosen backed it, believed. The investment paid off. The GTR saved Nissan's reputation, drew customers to showrooms. Halo effect worked. The dealers who succeeded, they respected the car, trained technicians to GTR standards, invested in equipment, diagnostic tools, special lifts, alignment systems. Nissan was serious. Dealers had to be too. Those who complied, sold cars, made money, built relationships, became destination dealers. Enthusiasts traveled states to buy from them. The community remembered who treated them right, who charged fair prices, who serviced cars properly. One final line, carved into the last RB26N1 engine block Nissan built, in Japanese. Translated, "We did not build this to be fast. We built this to be unbeatable."